Welcome back to Infinity Beyond. We've traversed science, physics, and deep cosmology, from the chilling silence of the heat death to the possibility of universal rebirth. Tonight, we pause, not to ask another equation or unravel another mystery, but to feel. Because the universe is not just a machine, it's a canvas. And when the stars dim and science reaches its outer edge, art steps forward. The cold universe is more than a concept. It's an emotion, a symbol, a mirror. It inspires artists, poets, and storytellers to imagine not just how the cosmos ends, but what that ending means. Let's begin with literature. In the 20th century, science fiction legends like Arthur C. Clarke, Isaac Asimov, and Liu Cixin turned the death of stars into existential theater. In Clarke's The Star, a dying civilization encodes its history into a beacon, only to have that beacon discovered by a human priest who realizes their end coincided with the birth of Christ. It's not just cosmic, it's personal. In Asimov's The Last Question, computers grow ever more powerful, civilizations rise and fall, the stars fade, and humanity asks one last thing: can entropy be reversed? The story ends with the answer, and a spark, a new beginning. Let there be light. And Liu Cixin's The Three-Body Problem trilogy shows civilizations stretching across eons, surviving dark eras with ingenuity and sacrifice. In these stories, cold is never just about temperature, it's about time, memory, legacy. Now let's shift to visual art. Painters and digital creators have rendered stunning images of frozen planets, dark nebulae, and lone galaxies adrift in blackness. These aren't just sci-fi landscapes, they're emotional portraits. Some evoke awe, others loneliness. Some portray the last humans huddled around a fading star. Others depict artificial intelligences carving poems into the rings of Saturn. You see, the cold universe invites scale. Infinite time, infinite space, infinite longing. It's a stage for the grandest metaphors. What about music? Composers like Gustav Holst in The Planets, or modern artists like Max Richter, Brian Eno, and Johan Johansson have captured the majesty and melancholy of space in sound. Ambient textures, echoing synths, gentle strings that rise like signals through interstellar clouds. Music becomes the language of deep time, wordless, timeless, haunting. In these sonic journeys, the cold isn't terrifying. It's beautiful. It's silence with structure. It's absence with grace. Even architecture and design are touched by cosmic inspiration. Museums, observatories, and pavilions now echo celestial geometry. Domes mimic planetary motion. Light installations pulse like dying stars. Art becomes a ritual, a way to make peace with the infinite. But perhaps the most personal response to the cold universe is in philosophy. Thinkers like Carl Sagan and Alan Watts didn't fear the cosmic void. They embraced it. Sagan famously said, "We are a way for the universe to know itself." Watts spoke of death not as an end, but as a return to the whole. In a cold universe where everything ends, art dares to say, meaning is not out there, it's within us. And if we vanish, the beauty we made still mattered. It mattered to us. It mattered now. That's why art matters. Because when science ends, story begins. And here's the most beautiful part. Science needs art, too. Without imagination, we wouldn't have rockets. Without vision, we wouldn't ask what comes after entropy. Without metaphor, we wouldn't understand black holes, or quantum foam, or time itself. Art gives science a soul. So tonight, if you're feeling small, lost in a sea of dark matter and dying light, create something. Write a poem about Neptune's wind. Paint a vision of the last galaxy. Compose a song for the particles drifting in eternal twilight. Let your mind write chapters the universe hasn't yet told. Because when the last star goes out and the universe turns cold, the echoes of your wonder, your art, may still hum in some forgotten atom, or in the mind of a being we haven't yet imagined. Let's end with a thought experiment. Imagine a future intelligence drifting through the empty universe long after humans are gone. It finds a data crystal floating in space. Inside, a painting, a lullaby, a story. It doesn't understand our language. It doesn't need to. It sees the colors, feels the rhythm, senses the structure, and in that moment, across time, across extinction, we speak. This is the legacy of beauty, the warmth in the cold. In our next and final segment, we'll reflect on everything we've seen, from absolute zero to cosmic rebirth, and ask one last question. What does it mean to exist, to observe, to feel, when the universe is so vast and we are so small? Until then, remember, even in the coldest corners of space, there is light. If not from stars, then from us.